Welcome to Accounting 223 Financial Management for STI. I'm really glad to have you here and glad that you joined this class in particular as you work towards your degree program. So I want to give you a quick introduction about where things are at with the class. So I just have it's on the home page when you first log into the class in STI.net. This is what you'll see. Just want to point out where a few things are at. So over here on the main page under blog, I'll post a weekly announcement and I'll email that out to everybody. So look for that on Mondays is when you'll see that. Then under handouts, under main page, then handouts, is a lot of very useful information. The Mind Tap access instructions are right here. So you would open that up, and I've emailed that out once before, but I'm going to send it out again. And if you've not yet registered for the class in Mind Tap, this is where you would go to do that. And so this document includes the step-by-step instructions to get you in there. If you've already bought Cengage and have that already, and you just need the course key are these capital amounts right here. So just kind of keep that in mind too. The course key is the capital amounts right there. So just watch for that email from me too. Besides, you can find it right here on the class site. Our syllabus is right here. Let me kind of show you some of the key highlights from the syllabus, just so you know what to look for, kind of what to expect. This is the 10th version of the book. It's a new version for this fall. So we had the 9th version for a few years, but now I moved on to the 10th. And this class is about corporate finance, and ultimately the goal is to figure out how do companies make decisions to make the company worth more money. So think of people in management, financial management. What decisions do they make to make the company worth more? That's really essentially what the class is about. Obviously, you can read through the competencies right here. You can get every specific item, but that covers the heart of really what we're trying to accomplish. The grade scale is right here. The student learning outcomes are right here. You might want to take a look at those. And the outline is right here. I didn't really put dates here, but I do have dates set in STI.net with everything. But this kind of just gives you a feel for the various units and kind of how I organize the class. I'm a big believer in giving more frequent tests because then I'm giving you tests that's only over a couple of chapters as opposed to just a few tests over a whole bunch of chapters. So I think you'll discover it's easier this way. The material will be more top of mind, and I think you'll do better on the assignments. There is a comprehensive final at the very end of class. It primarily will cover questions already asked of you. The vast majority of questions will have been asked somewhere within the class between a quiz or a test. So just kind of be aware of that. And we'll talk about that later on in the class, obviously. But those are the key items from the syllabus just to take a look at. And then I've got the class organized by units. Unit 1 is chapters 1 and 2. And so every chapter has PowerPoints, answers to questions, and then most of them have a textbook Excel. So every chapter we cover has a PowerPoint. They're loaded right here. Then also at the back of every chapter is a list of review questions, and I've given you the answers to those. Some chapters have a few, some have a lot. It just depends on the chapter. But they're basically just more concept questions, very high level. It's a great way to review for a test or a quiz is to look at your chapter, look at those questions, think through on your own, how well do I know these, and am I getting them right or wrong, and then just kind of verify what you think the answer is, either just mentally thinking what it is or jotting down the highlights. Compare the answer to the textbook answers here. It's just a way to gauge how much you know or don't know about a particular chapter, or just read the question, read the answer, whatever works for you. The point of me giving those to you is just to help you learn and assess where you're at in terms of knowing the course material. Then most chapters, starting from chapter 3 forward, have what we call the textbook Excel. And as you read through your chapters, what you'll discover is that it looks like some of the chapters have a picture of an Excel file. And pretty much every chapter 3 through 16 that we'll cover has something like that in it. And they're just really good examples. So it's really just there for your benefit. We don't necessarily will use these a whole lot in the class, but they're kind of like a little mini assignment or mini textbook or mini example that you can look at. but it just mirrors what's in your chapter. So if you, as you read through your chapter and you see kind of a picture of an Excel file, it comes from here. The nice thing about when you look at these, there are some formulas based on what the topic is and what we're trying to accomplish. So you might discover those to be very useful and just helpful to look at these and kind of get a feel for what they're trying to tell us. There's a whole big unit about taxes in Chapter 3, for example, so it's showing us some information about that. So those are just kind of for you to look at on your own. There will be one chapter where we'll use these for some homework, but after that, it's really just kind of just looking at them to figure out, yeah, this will help me study, or I don't think I need it. It's your decision to make. So just kind of keep that in mind. That's what's out there, and this is all under handouts. And then I want to go to main page and go to bookmarks. And what I've done is organize quite a bit of information from other websites, and I put those here. So I've got the book companion site linked right here. I've got lectures that I pre-recorded already here. I've got a little useful guide about starting with MindTap that came from Cengage. That's from them. So I put that there for you. And primarily the main website that I like to use is called Investopedia. And so I've organized by unit all these various links based on kind of how they fit into that unit. And some of these are a link to a web page that's kind of just an article about that topic. Some of these are short videos, usually 3 or 4 minutes in length. They're a little bit cheesy, they're kind of animated and whatnot, but they're really good. I mean, they're informational. And it's information that will help you and benefit you. So you can look at those as much as you want, as little as you want. It's really your call how much time you spend with those and look at those. Your book is the primary source. So, all the homework assignments in MindTap are really coming from your chapter. But I've always discovered it's good to have other information available to help you learn. And so that's what this is for. So just take a look at those as you feel like you need to or want to. And I don't think you'll be wasting your time. They're really good, and that's why I put them there. And then under coursework, I just want to show everybody the assignments here. And in Unit 1 is simply just chapters 1 and 2. And we start kind of slow. I really don't have anything major from the chapter due until September 8th. This very first week, the only assignment that is due is a syllabus quiz in an introduction forum. So I'd like you to introduce yourself to me and your classmates. Instructions are right here. I'm not requiring a response post, but if you want to respond to somebody, by all means, please do. And you can also use this as a place to post a question or something like that. So, but don't be afraid to post questions throughout the whole class here. But for sure, at least just give me an introduction to yourself and let us know a little bit, learn more a little bit about you, and go from there. But otherwise, besides the syllabus quiz, introduction forum, everything is done over in MindTap for the most part. So we'll go over to MindTap, and when you first log in, it'll look a little bit something like this. Let's see. I'm not so great. This is newer to me, so I'm still learning it, and it'll look a little bit like this for you. My view might be just a little bit different, but essentially what you're doing is you're just coming into here, and are you ready? These are just little videos. There's nothing actually that you have to do. These are just little videos that you might find useful. They're very short. You can look at these. That'll help you with Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. So you might want to take a look at those. Will not take you much time. And then after that, we've got all the various chapters. And basically, you can see if something's got the orange dot, it says counts toward grade. It's graded. Those points will be assigned to you over in STI Net. And these ones are called "Why is this important to me?" They're just 1 point, and I give them to you as extra credit. So when you go over here and you find them, in our class, anything right here, they're 1 pointers. They're just extra credits. So if you just do them, you get the point, you get the extra credits. So you might find that helpful down the road. And then what I really like about MindTap is it has a bazillion videos. I mean, a lot of videos. In Chapter 1 doesn't have that many, but other chapters have a lot of videos. So take a look at those. They'll be very helpful, especially when it comes to working problems. Chapter 1 is more of a concept chapter. There's no number crunching in the chapter, but other chapters that have a lot more number crunching in them will have a lot more videos. specifically about how to do specific types of problems. So just be looking for those. And then, so every chapter has kind of what we call an assignment. And then we also have what we call blueprint problems. And the blueprint problems are mostly a lot of questions. They're kind of like paragraphs. And then in the middle of a paragraph, there'll be a drop-down box for you to choose among a couple of different answers there. Okay, so from there, so that's basically it. And then also, there are some things here in some of these chapters. Now, chapter 1 is not a good example. Let me skip down to chapter 3. That's kind of where the number crunching really gets a little heavier. But you can access your ebook right here. If you click on that, that'll take you to chapter 3. There is the why is this important to me, the video review. So there's going to be a lot more videos now for chapter 3 because they're walking you specifically how to do certain problems. And those are going to be very useful to you as you begin to work your homework problems. Okay, so just be aware those are going to be very useful. And then every chapter from chapter 3 going on has a practice and prep end of chapter problem. And these are the problems just from the back of your book, and they're for practice. It's up to you how much time you spend on those. It doesn't matter to me. It's really just purely up to you. But if you want to work on those for practice, just to see how well you know something, that'd be the place to go. And then under assignments for every chapter is kind of where you'll find the main 2 assignments. The financial statements problems for this particular chapter, and then also you'll have the blueprint problem here. So pretty much every chapter is some kind of a homework and a blueprint that goes with it. But just as soon as you can, make sure you get into the class in Mind Tap. And keep in mind this first week we go a little slow. If you want to start working on chapters 1 and 2, by all means, please do. I'm not stopping you. Go ahead and do that. But nothing from chapter 1 is due until the 8th of September. And this first week is just really doing the syllabus quiz and the introduction forum. But by all means, if you want to start chapter 1, you certainly can. There's nothing stopping anybody from working ahead. You can definitely work ahead if you want to. So everything's out there. If you want to work ahead, you do not need to get my permission. You can just go for it. Okay. So with that, if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.